It's NFL Daily by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us. Coming up on today's show, ESPN's Todd McShay has his first mock draft of 2024. We will run through it and break it down because it's never too early to talk about an NFL draft. And McShay went a little crazy. He included even some trades in next year's draft as well. We'll examine it, react to it, share my thoughts, and tell you about some of these players coming up in just a matter of moments. Before we do, got a little favor to ask of the folks watching today. I need you to share this show. That way we can get it out to as many people as humanly possible so they can see our great content here at Chat Sports because we care. So here's what I need you to do. Click the share button, select the Twitter icon, click post to Twitter, and then tag me. Yes, this guy, at Tyler Jones Live. I'll retweet you. The first 10 shares of today's show, you are getting a follow back on the Twitter. Now, I don't have a verified check mark anymore because Elon took that away from me. But I promise it's the real me. So if you do that, I'll show you some love and certainly would appreciate it. So here's how this worked. McShay ran through all 32 picks because the Dolphins didn't cheat and get their pick taken away this year. And so we will go through all of McShay's picks and show you who he's projecting and give our thoughts and more. And we start right off the top with the trade. Arizona, he has getting the first two picks in the draft, going back to their trade that they had with the Houston Texans on draft night of last week. And then we see another trade with the situation. Obviously, Arizona is paying Kyler Murray a lot of money, so they're not necessarily needing the number one overall pick for a quarterback. And so with that, they trade from 1 down to 5 and still hold on to the number 2 pick. And with the first pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select Caleb Williams, quarterback, USC. They go from one former Oklahoma quarterback in Baker Mayfield to another in Caleb Williams, as Williams started his career with the Sooners, moved on to SC, won the Heisman Trophy last year. I think Caleb Williams is him. He is incredible. He is, I believe, the best quarterback prospect that we've seen since a guy by the name of Andrew Luck. I think I would put him, and I know there's a lot of pressure heading into another season here at Southern California. I would put him ahead of what we saw Trevor Lawrence entering his final year at Clemson. I think Caleb Williams is that good. He does everything well. He runs out of the pocket. He can throw it downfield. He's extremely accurate. He's pretty fast as well. And he's done it with two different schools. He was awesome his freshman year, true freshman year out of Oklahoma, and he was great at SC this past year. I would prefer him to kind of drop the fingernail painting thing. I don't think that's too classy. But other than that, Caleb Williams has got everything going for him. It'd be a home run pick for Tampa Bay, or for anybody for that matter, to get Caleb Williams at 1. Will Caleb Williams be the first pick in the 24 draft? I feel like you could probably set the odds right now at Caleb Williams or the field. And I think I would lean towards Caleb Williams right now. What do you think? Will Caleb Williams be the number 1 pick? Y for yes, in for no. You know how we do things at Chat Sports. Make it simple for you. Y for yes, in for no. Let us know in the comments section. Then the Cardinals at 2 go with Marvin Harrison Jr. And I know that's going to make some folks at home feel old that we're saying the son of the Indianapolis Colts legend going number 2. But I got to tell you, he is outstanding. He's terrific. He's already had a good start to his career at The Ohio State. He would have been one of the top receivers taken in this year's draft had he been eligible. But he is set for greatness in the National Football League and would be a big asset to that Arizona offense. Then we see another trade. The Commanders trade up from 6 to number 3 because Indy already has a quarterback in Anthony Richardson. We'll see how this year goes. So not necessarily looking for a quarterback. Washington would be in the quarterback market, as you would imagine. And they go from one North Carolina quarterback in Sam Howell to another in Drake Maye. I think producer Roley would be going through an emotional roller coaster if the Commanders went from Sam Howell to Drake Maye. But I got to tell you, Drake Maye is that dude. I love Drake Maye. Caleb Williams, I think, is number 1. but Drake Maye is right there. It's those two, and then it's kind of everybody else. Drake Maye, kind of like what we talked about with Caleb Williams, does everything well. And I like Drake Maye better than I did any quarterback in 2023. So I got to tell you, if the Commanders or anybody can get Drake Maye at 3, watch out. If I were to predict, this is where I'd be different from McShay as far as the trades and stuff goes. I would think that you're going to see a world where Caleb Williams goes 1, Drake Maye goes 2. I would be surprised at this point if he slipped to 3, but it would be a good pick for Washington. Good opportunity to trade up there. Let's go through some of these others here. 4, Dallas Turner, outside linebacker from Bama, goes to the Tennessee Titans. Interesting to see the Titans not going with a quarterback here. If they're going to be that bad, you'd think they'd probably be going quarterback, but instead McShay has them going with Turner. 5, probably the best name in next year's draft, Kool-Aid McKinstry, corner from Alabama, to the Arizona Cardinals with this selection to add to Arizona's defense there. Then we go to number 6 in the draft, Brock Bowers, the tight end from Georgia. He's been the best tight end in all of college football the last, 2-3 seasons, whatever it's been, but he couldn't come out in the draft last year. His teammate ended up getting picked. His teammate tight end, Darnell Washington got picked. Bowers has been waiting his time patiently, and he is all that in a bag of chips. Great pass catcher, good blocker. He is going to be terrific at the next level. Then at 7, Atlanta goes with Jared Verse, defensive end from Florida State. The Bears go with a defensive end from Ohio State, J.T. Tuamoloau. I'll work on that name later. We get plenty of time. Then the Patriots at 9 got another one. We'll call him Olu, the offensive tackle from Penn State. And then at 10, we see with this next selection, the Pittsburgh Steelers go defensive end with Braylon Trice out of Washington, who there's been a lot of love about Braylon Trice. We've seen his stock really start to make a nice climb here within the last couple of months of the talks about 2024. Who will be the best player in the 2024 NFL Draft? Tell me in the comments section. I think it's Caleb Williams. Is it somebody else? Tell me what you think. Who is the best player? Let us know. Now, I know the 2023 NFL Draft is over. That doesn't mean we're done talking about the draft on our draft channel. We're going to look ahead to 2024. We have team-specific content. We'll have player interviews. In fact, this is actually the time, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, don't wait till next year because we're going to have plenty of stuff between now and then. Subscribe right now and do it because I told you to, if anything else. Subscribe now, turn on notifications for more draft content. The draft stuff doesn't stop. We got you covered on the channel. Subscribe now for free today. Rolling through the rest of these pretty quickly here. The Bears go with Rome Odunes, wide receiver from Washington. The Rams, they finally said after all those years of F them picks, we need picks. And they go with Joe Alt, the offensive tackle from Notre Dame. Packers go with Jerzon Newton, defensive tackle from Illinois. The Seahawks at 14 go with Miami defensive tackle Leonard Taylor. Remember, they passed on Jalen Carter this year. That should be a weakness for them, probably, the defensive tackle spot, since they didn't take care of it this draft. I would be surprised if Seattle's pick at 14, though. I think they're going to be a lot better than what McShay thinks. 15, Jack Sawyer, outside linebacker from Ohio State. Really good pass rusher there. That'd be a good fit for Denver. They find themselves back in the first round for the first time in a while. The Raiders at 16 go with Caitlin King, corner from Penn State. 17, Mason Smith, defensive tackle from LSU, goes to the Texans. I don't think the Texans are going to have the 17th best record, but we'll see what happens there. 18, the Miami Dolphins go with Jatavian Sanders, tight end from Texas. 19, Michael Hall Jr., defensive tackle from Ohio State, goes to the New York Giants. And then we see another quarterback off the board. That's J.J. McCarthy from the University of Michigan, who I thought had a breakout campaign last year. He finally won the job from Cade McNamara, took it away from him, and an offense was able to do a lot more. And J.J. McCarthy looks the part, right? I mean, he feels like he could be an NFL quarterback. He still has some work to do as a passer, but I think J.J. McCarthy is on the right track as far as that goes. 20 makes sense there to Minnesota. How many QBs will get picked in the first in 2024? What do you think? McShay saying 3. He did leave out Quinn Ewers from the University of Texas. Not to play too much of a spoiler, but I thought Ewers would have a shot to be in the mix to be a first-round pick. I think there could be 4, maybe in 5 potentially. Don't forget, Spencer Rattler, as we've seen some crazy stuff with Rattler over the years, when he plays at his best, he can be pretty good. What Rattler are we going to see this upcoming year? Those are some names. We'll see. How many guys get picked in the first round in 2024? Tell me what you think. 24, the Saints go receiver with Emeka Egbuka from Ohio State, another Ohio State wide receiver. The Lions go with one of my favorite players in this upcoming draft, Xavier Worthy from Texas, with that pick. Xavier Worthy, a lot of speed that Xavier Worthy brings to the table. 23, the Jags go with Cooper DeJean, the corner from Iowa. Ravens go defensive end with Chop Robinson. If you're going to be defensive end, you got to have the name Chop, right? You got to be chopping that wood, right? Denzel Burke, corner from Ohio State, goes to the Chargers at 25. All these Ohio State players getting picked. They better finally beat Michigan and get to the playoff with as much talent they have this upcoming year. 26, Jake Latham from Bama goes to the Cowboys, offensive tackle. 27, the Packers go with Kalen Bullock, safety from USC. 29, the Bengals go with offensive tackle from BYU, Kingsley Suamatea. And then 29, the Buffalo Bills go with Javen Bullard, corner from Georgia. And then we wrap up, final 3 picks. The Eagles go inside linebacker with Jeremiah Trotter Jr. from Clemson. Remember, Clemson had Trenton Simpson go in the 3rd round of this year's draft, so decent track record when it comes to inside linebackers. Cooper Beebe, offensive guard from Kansas State. Kansas State produced Dalton Reisner a couple years ago at that offensive guard spot. They have a tendency to develop guys. And then the Chiefs, who McShay's predicting to go back-to-back as Super Bowl champions, go offensive tackle with Graham Barton. That's one thing about the Chiefs, and this is a good pick by McShay. There's question marks about that offensive tackle spot there in Kansas City. We'll see what they do. So, this upcoming season, big year ahead in college football. The Georgia Bulldogs are back-to-back national champions. A lot of talent, as you can see. I like next year's class better than I did last year's class. Who is going to be your favorite player to watch this season in college football? Let me know. Hit me up on social media, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Tyler Jones Live. That's where you can find me when I'm not here on NFL Daily. And I'll see you next time right here on NFL Daily by Chat Sports. Thanks for joining us.